Hey, Steve Zook here. Welcome back to Polk Studio Channel and the Guitar Ladder System. Hey, this is a really rare guitar. I've actually got two of them, so I'd be willing to make kind of a collector's player's deal on it. It's got some wood on the back from Brazil. Really a beautiful guitar. This is a 70s lawsuit model Ibanez, and it kind of combines the magic of like a Martin D35. To my ear, it sounds better, though. I've had a lot of great. I even used a Martin early 70s D35 on my CD, which is reviewed at Vintage Guitar Magazine. If you go to vintageguitar.com, put in Steve Zook, you can read the review. But this is a very rare lawsuit guitar. It's got the Guild logo on the headstock, and it just sounds beautiful. To me, it has more bandwidth than like a Martin D35. It's got a nice dose of Guild D50, D55. And nothing beats aged wood. You know, when wood is older, and I don't really believe that much in the torrefication thing. I think the best way for wood to age is to lay around the forest or be like 150, like 150, 200-year-old, wood that's been in the bottom of a river or the bottom of the lake absorbing nutrients. So I'm not, the best sounding older vintage guitars are the ones where the wood has aged naturally, just laid around the forest or, like I said, been in the bottom of a lake or the bottom of a stream or something, like the Sinker mahogany that Gruen sells. But anyway, this is really a beautiful sounding guitar. I've got two of them. This is model 2846, and this was made in Japan. Made at a time when the company had a lot of pride. They weren't doing things trying to just about making money and profit. They were trying to put themselves on the map. And Ibanez is one of the biggest companies in the world, so it's a pretty rare guitar, and it just sounds beautiful. Records really has a really nice. These strings are a little old, but it has. And by the way, sometimes people send me emails. They go, "Well, how come you, as long as you're making the trouble to do a video, how come you can't show your hands?" Well, because I'm trying to show the tone of the guitar. It's not just about showing what I'm doing. Like this video, I'm trying to just show the tone of the guitar. But I love stuff like this. This stuff's really almost impossible to find, So I'm not trying to show off my playing here. I'm just trying to show the guitar. As you can hear, it just sounds beautiful, and it's got the Guild logo on the headstock, which makes it a lawsuit model. A lot of people say they have a lawsuit model, but they don't. This is highly collectible, but more importantly than highly collectible, it just sounds beautiful. It's got the great tone of a three-piece back Martin D35, but with more bandwidth. More orchestral, voice. And the magic of a great guitar is the mid-range and the mid-bass. This thing just sounds beautiful. And the back, I just love that wood from Brazil. Is so beautiful. This is really a nice guitar. But I've got two of these, which is unbelievable. And I search for stuff like this. It's really, I work my ass off to find great stuff. Here's the other one. You can see the back on this one is a little bit different, but it's also got, the back, it's got some wood from Brazil on it. And one of these, I think it's this one, has a little owie that looks worse if you focus in on it, but it's really, once you play the guitar, you can barely notice it. I'm having even trouble finding it. But the back on this one is a little bit different, as you can tell. And they're just, really beautiful guitars. I love the aged wood. You can see that aged wood. This one, the strings are a little newer. So I have two of these. I'd be willing to make some kind of a package deal. You can take a peek at them on Reverb, but if you saw it here on Pokesoo channel, I'd rather go through Pokesoo because you saw it on Pokesoo. That's only fair. But yeah, this one has some interesting wood from Brazil as well. Maybe it's the other one that has a little owie. I'll try to find it. But I'm willing to do a package deal on both of these, or just sell one at a time. But this is like getting a great 70s Martin D35 or Guild D50, you know, which would be, a $4,500 guitar for a 70s Martin, D35. And I used one on my CD, which is reviewed at Vintage Guitar Magazine. If you go to vintageguitar.com, put in Steve Zook, you can read the review. But I've got two of these. It'd be kind of cool to sell them. And again, I'm not showing what I'm playing because I'm trying to show the tone of the guitar. So that's one of them. Let me see, maybe it's the other one that has a little owie. I lose track. Yeah, these are really, really cool guitars. This one has, as you can see, it's got, when you look at it close, it probably looks worse. But when you play this guitar, it just sounds so good and looks so beautiful. You kind of forget it. This could be, you could have a luthier touch this up for probably a little bit of money. It wouldn't be too much. I've even got an old piece of wood with some aged binding and aged wood that would be perfect to fill this in if you needed that. But yeah, it's got a little owie there. But yeah, the back on this one's really, really beautiful too. As you can see, that figured wood. So I've got two of these. They're from the 70s, and they're script logo. I used to collect script logo guitars and sold my entire collection, did well on it. And some people got some really beautiful rare guitars that have gone up in value since I did that deal. I think the same way with these. These are highly collectible. Ibanez is one of the biggest guitar companies in the world. They're right up there with Martin and Gibson and Fender, probably even bigger. And they've got top artists. This is really a beautiful guitar. It just sounds, it's very mic friendly too. It records really well. Two of these would really be cool for a studio that wanted to invest in some great instruments for your studio as opposed to just equipment. But yeah, this is 2846 model. I think it's called a York. It just sounds, both guitars are set up nice. Seems like the setup on this one might even be a little better. But yeah, these have a big sound, but it's more orchestral. Sometimes the Martin D35s can not have as much bandwidth. Of course, every guitar is a little bit different depending on where it was made and the climate and the nutrients in the wood. That's another factor. These older guitars were made at a time when there was less pollutants in the air and the water, so you have higher quality wood that dried out the correct way, not just got fried in a baked oven, and the torrefication and all that, which I really don't believe in. The best way to age wood is for it to lay around the forest or be in 150, 200-year-old, laying inside of a stream or a lake or something, or just laying around the forest. But yeah, I've got two of these. This is the one that has a little owie. You could probably get that touched up for a little bit. Again, I've got a piece of wood that's got aged binding. If you needed that, I could throw a little of that in. But you start playing this guitar, it just sounds so beautiful, you kind of don't even really think about the little owie there. But it's there, But the wood, both of these together just are so beautiful. And you can see how the back pattern is a little bit different on each one. The pattern on this one's a little bit different. But yeah, these are going to go up in value. I know what I'm talking about. I'm 70 years old. I've been buying, selling, collecting for 40 years. I work my butt off to find really good stuff. These are rare as hell, and they're only going to go up in value. I'd be willing to make a package deal on both of them. You can see some pictures of them on Reverb. And like I said, though, if you found it on Pokesoo, it's only fair you go through me, But anyway, very, very, very musical guitars, more bandwidth than most Martin D35s I've played. A really nice voice, but gorgeous guitars. Anyway, if you're interested, you can email me, stevezook7@yahoo.com. or text me 714-548-0385. Again, text 714-548-0385, or email Steve Zook, Z-O-O-K, the number 7, not spelled out, stevezook7@yahoo.com. But these two would look gorgeous in the studio. You know, they just have a nice. It's art, man. I used to run ads years ago. I'd say art and investments you can play. And this guitar is art, but it's super collectible and just has a beautiful voice with more bandwidth than even an older Martin. All right, folks, take care. Let's all keep the positive faith. Believe in a positive future. And try my mantra or my affirmation. Abundance and prosperity is my natural state. Ciao.